Well, it's nice to be out for another morning coffee and tea and talk about some real estate headlines. What's our headline today?
Well, I guess it's a little bit of our buyers not buying and or sellers not selling.
Well, we should dig into that a little deeper. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Terry Pasquarelli, MVP Realty.
I'm Rich Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
And we're on the road again.
Yes, we are.
Where are we today?
We are at a nice new little center called Founders Square.
North Naples?
In North Naples. And this area is new because so much is going on in this part of town.
Well, there's so much growth both in residential communities and in the commercial centers like Founders Square that are coming up to support a lot more of the population filling in to North Naples. And that includes east of I-75, which is the major highway. And this particular shopping center is at the intersection of Immokalee Road in North Naples and Collier Boulevard, another really major north-south road. And this is turning out to be a super popular place.
Oh, it really is.
There's a little bit of everything here.
Yep.
And we have residential living, the Pearl, which is a nice, very nice apartment complex here. Physicians Regional has added significant medical resources here to kind of compete with across the street, the Naples Community Hospital. So there's a lot of healthcare very, very conveniently located here. And now all of this shopping and restaurants and bars and really filling out
all these places that are coming up here. You know, read, oh, this restaurant is opening up. Where is it? Oh, it's up on Founders Square or up on Immokalee Road. And so there's a lot that's coming up this way. So even though, you know, you're moving, you know, everybody says, you know, you're moving farther out, farther out is coming to you. So,
for sure. This is a very well-resourced area in North Naples, and you don't feel like you have to extend yourself to go back to shopping. You know, the supermarkets are here, the gas stations are here, entertainment, healthcare, whatever it is you might need, retail and restaurants.
It followed them out.
It sure did, and with really nice choices. We're going to see some duplication of some almost downtown favorites or central Naples favorites coming here with another outlet. The Lake Park Diner is building a new diner here.
Oh, that's a favorite of mine.
That'll be good.
Right now, we're at a nice little place called Skillets. And when we first moved here into Florida, and I saw the Skillets sign, I said, oh, isn't that nice? It's a place that sells pots and pans.
Oh, no.
and I never went in. And then, you know, one of my neighbors says, hey, let's go over to Skillets. I don't need any pots, but let's go, you know. And then I found out what it really is.
It's a breakfast place.
It's a great breakfast place, yeah.
And there are many locations all around the Naples area, including right here in Founders Square. So we'll, you know, have been sharing some of the video highlights from Founders Square so people can get an idea of what's here. But it's really a fun spot. I'm glad we ended up here this morning. But we do want to talk about if buyers aren't buying, or is it that sellers aren't selling, what's happening in the real estate market and how is that trend impacting us here in Southwest Florida. And there have been a couple of studies, so a lot of times in our kind of coffee meetings in the morning, we'll take a look at what's being published. And most recently, there's a 2023 study that is called The Experiences and Barriers of Prospective Homebuyers. And that's really across the country because it's been sponsored by the National Association of Realtors. They talk both to consumers and to real estate professionals and kind of sought out what were the top reasons if someone wasn't buying, why are they on the sidelines? And there really are top three reasons, and they may not be totally surprising. First one, inventory. So buyers are concerned and are commenting on the supply or perhaps their perceived lack of supply of inventory in their target price range. And that's probably the highest one. And then if it's not that, they might be waiting for interest rates to go down. And or they may be waiting for prices themselves to go down. And it's a little bit different if you're the consumer and your perception of it versus if you're the real estate professional. I think the real estate professionals are really reporting back there just isn't available inventory. If there was, I have buyers who are ready to buy. The perception from buyers sometimes reports a little differently. Buyers are saying in the survey, we're waiting for prices to come down, i.e. to get more houses in the price range that we're looking for.
Right.
So it's kind of two sides of the coin.
Well, over the last 20 years that I've been doing real estate, that's always happened, right? We're just going to wait for those prices to come on down.
Now, the thing that is very, very clear, and we're seeing this in the data, we report it every month, and we're seeing it in the surveys well outside of Southwest Florida, is that because in general, there still is low inventory,
right,
it is keeping prices up. For the homes that are going to sell, they are in demand.
Right.
And for buyers who have the buying power, they see the value in home ownership compared to the ever rising rates of paying rent. And so we're not seeing a dip in prices.
No.
It's just not going that way. And
not
that's
in
not
our
unique
market.
here.
Right.
It's not unique to here, but certainly not here.
Right.
Right. So how we've seen maybe almost a close to 10% rise over summer of 2022 in home prices,
Right.
even though our inventory is very low.
Right, which is probably one of the things when people start talking about one of the other reasons that people aren't buying, as maybe they're waiting for the interest rates to come down. Well, the interest rates are going to come down, but in the meantime, if the houses are going to be going up 10% a year, then next year or the year after, when the interest rates are down, you didn't really save anything, because now the house is maybe 15 to 20% more expensive than it was with the higher rate. But you can always refinance. You can't go back in time and get the house at a lower price. So
There is a trade-off.
there is a trade-off. If you buy one now at a higher interest rate, when the prices are what they are, it's certainly going to save you in another year or so, when eventually the interest rate will come down.
Right.
They
Now,
always do.
The flip side to this is, if sellers aren't selling, why are they not selling?
Right.
And it's all interrelated, as we might guess. Sellers are looking at the market and saying, where will I go?
Right.
And there are a couple of things that are keeping them from answering the question, where will I go? There is less inventory.
There is.
So they're hesitant to put their house into inventory and add to the inventory mix because they don't see inventory and they're not sure where they're going to move.
Right.
And they're not sure that they want to give up their low interest rates that they may have had if they have a mortgage.
Right.
And perhaps be now having to move up to a pricier interest rate for a downsizing, swapping out of a home, or if they're upsizing, trying to get into a bigger
could be
home.
changing the area. We have a lot of our customers that are coming here, selling in other places, and then they want to come here.
And so it's an interesting kind of dilemma that if sellers aren't confident to put their house on the market and into the inventory because they don't see the opportunity,
Right.
and they have some of the same things holding them back,
Right.
like the interest rates perhaps, because they're in a great position if they bought years ago at the historically low interest rates, then we sort of have this chicken and egg.
Right.
I don't want to put my house up for sale. I'm not sure where I'm going to go. We have buyers who wish they had that house in inventory, who might actually be saying to that seller, I'd be happy to buy your house, and therefore you have the funds to go get what you want. But it's understandable.
Right.
It's totally understandable that these are times that when you have uncertainty, one of the things people may do is say, I'm just going to take a deep breath and I'm going to wait a little while and see if something in that dynamic shifts, that maybe they feel like they have more control.
Right. And I know one of the things that we've experienced ourselves over the many years that we've bought and sold our own personal homes, and also talking to a lot of our customers, one of the things that we've always said is, boy, I'm glad I did what I did when I did it.
Right.
So,
Right. And we have to remember that even, as painful as it is to hear about interest rates that are above 6% or going up around 7 plus,
right?
These are still historically reasonable interest rates.
Right.
And what it does bring out from a certain generation of people is, I remember when, my interest rate was 11, 12, 18%.
My first house the interest rate was in the teens, and I was so, I felt so great to get it. I said, this is fantastic. And I refinanced. That's
Right. Well, thankfully you were able to do that and knew to do that, and it didn't totally keep you out of home ownership. If you're on the bubble
Right.
and you're not sure, the other thing with buyers is sometimes people are still looking at how they're going to accumulate a down payment. So if they're coming from one home to another, the proceeds from your house sale often help tremendously with the down payment and perhaps something left over to refinance your lifestyle. But especially for people trying to move into home ownership, coming up with that down payment can be a tricky piece.
It is, and there are some new programs out that we could help some younger buyers with that can help get over that hump.
Right. So a first-time home buyer, there can be things that some of our preferred lenders know that someone may qualify for. And if someone has come out of the military, there are programs that they could qualify for, et cetera. It really depends on the individual circumstances, but it's worth having that conversation.
Absolutely.
And it is interesting that part of the hesitance in terms of accumulating a down payment is the ever-increasing rents. Because as the home inventory is low, it's not unseen by those who are saying, oh, we have inventory in apartment living, but the rents are going to go up.
They are.
As those rents go up and up and up, basically 100% of your payment is paying somebody else's mortgage, not your own.
Well, that's
and how do you pay for that and then still save for your own? That's a tricky situation. And so that's what a lot of people are pointing out as well. If they're on the sidelines because they're not confident about the down payment, it's often that they see their rent going up. And so they're not sure, how quickly they're going to be able to accumulate what they need to put a competitive down payment and be able to win the day with a contract bid.
Right.
So that's kind of
all of that is just a lot of preparation on the buyer's part to be able to know what they need, talk to a local lender, and understand what they have to do and where they need to be and what is available to them before they ever think about going out shopping for a home.
And it is so tempting, going out to see model homes or resale homes is the part of the process people enjoy.
Right.
And it's much harder to say, let's sit down and put together a financial plan first. Let's call the insurance company first and make sure we understand all the components of costs. What is it? My taxes may be great here. I may pay a little bit more for home insurance. There's trade-offs to what you pay based on where you're coming from and where you want to live. And all those things, the more you do them in advance, you're right, that makes the home buying process one that's much smoother with much more confidence
more enjoyable,
on the home buyer's part.
I mean, the surprises are gone. So you don't put an offer in on a home only to find out that the insurance is what?
Exactly, right, or just whatever carrying costs there are, the cost of moving, packing and moving, if that's a consideration. All of those things are part of the cash flow of that year, and you need to really get ahead of those to be able to enjoy your house, and we want really to help people do that. One of the reasons to reach out to experienced real estate professionals, what we do for our clients, for example, is connect them to well-regarded, experienced suppliers and vendors who are expert in just those areas, so that people don't have to just pick a name, Google a name, and not know the reputation. Come, and we're not only delivering what we can offer from a real estate service point of view, but it's also the relationships and the connections in a local community that might be new to a home buyer or a home seller.
Absolutely, and those things, change all the time. Mortgages change, insurance changes, and even being in the business, we still reach out and speak to the professional, whether it's the insurance guy or the closing agent, and because we always want to make sure that we have the right information and who to send our people to for that current right information. Even for our personal stuff, we had a question this morning. We better reach out to our insurance guy and ask him.
We're going to ask in advance and just make sure we get it answered. And we want to help our customers to do the very same thing. So if you're a home buyer and you're not really sure how all of the pieces stack up for you, or if you're a home seller and you're not sure how or when you should add your house to the current active inventory for sale, thinking about where you want to go next, reach out and give us a call. Again, I'm Terry Pasquarelli, MVP Realty.
And Rich Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
We're here and we really look forward to helping you make the plan, a sound plan, so that you can have confidence and really make the end of 2023 and heading into 2024 a really good experience. And don't put off your dreams, and don't put off the things that are important to you from your life, your next chapter.
Your next chapter.
We'll get onto it. Now, if you're finding something helpful in this video, I do hope you'll give this episode a thumbs up.
Please do.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing is totally free. We're not going to put you on a mailing list. We're not going to follow up and hound you in any way, but our contact information is listed below the video. So when you're ready, we are here and ready to help.
Absolutely.
And we hope you'll reach out and give us a call or reach out by email. And we look forward to helping you very soon. And you can be experiencing all the excitement of growth in Naples and North Naples, and
find out what's in that skillet in there, and and enjoy.
That's right. We're going to get on with our planning for the week. Have a good one.
Cheers.